and if you look with all this money getting pumped in the economy, it seems like inflation's probably around the corner too. So that's even to make housing prices even go higher. It seems like. So
Yeah.
it's just so many things out there. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because a lot of people are real estate investors. I mean, there's a ton of people that have rentals and flips, and I know you do some stuff about that. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, with investors, I know that it's that as well has become a very saturated market in itself. There's many investors, and then the housing prices, depending on where you're looking, it's hard to justify, the market value of those properties, and I know depending on what type of investor you are and what you're looking to do and how much that investment money cost you, there's a lot of investors who have found it discouraging in this market with the housing prices the way they are. So what I've noticed is a lot of secondary markets. One town that they used to buy investments in has become above their price range, and you see that filtrating into a secondary market where there's more opportunity, more growth. And that's part of what I love about real estate, is to watch it grow, these communities. So
Yeah, for sure. 'Kay, we have Detroit here, obviously, so that's like a huge, like, there's so many undeveloped areas still there. I mean, it's come a long way in the last 10 years, but there's still so much room to go. I mean, there's still really big pockets of areas that there just could be so much more done with it.
oh yeah, lots of, and I didn't know if you wanted to talk specifics in terms of cities, but yeah, and then there's the Detroit Land Bank, where I know of specific investors who have bought multiple properties on that land bank. And it can get risky because you're buying hoping that things are going to keep going up and driving that secondary market towards Detroit, right? But specifically, we see a lot of people who are priced out of Ferndale and moving to Hazel Park, and then you see Hazel Park, and those housing prices are going higher and higher. And a lot of investors are moving towards Hazel Park versus Ferndale because they can see a return there.
Right, and and the ones that are in Ferndale came from Royal Oak, and the ones from Royal Oak came from Birmingham. So you have
Right.
like this migration. It's funny. There's like a restaurant in Ferndale there's this sign that I just love. It says "Don't Royal Oak my Ferndale," and
Oh,
it's just so funny.
yes. Oh, I've heard that from many, many residents there who, as much as you think you see that economy growing there in that little downtown, it's surprising to me, because it comes at a cost, right, to the residents there. It comes at a cost of, 2 a.m. people walking down the street and causing ruckus, but I'm very familiar with that term.
So where do you see good pockets? If you were like had a bunch of money to invest in real estate right now, where would you put it? Would you do rentals? Would you buy? Would you a location? Just like general things you would do if you were in that space right now.
Yeah, so there's many different kinds of real estate investors. I know, if you're a buy and hold or a flip type investor, and that all definitely plays into it. But in terms of our very local market, I definitely see a move towards Hazel Park, towards Oak Park a little bit. Those are the next door communities of where, like you said, people just keep moving on to the next one. So I see a lot of opportunity being taken advantage of over in Hazel Park right now. Property values are actually, they speak for themselves.